Hey guys, it's Tessa. So I thought today we would kind of switch up the format that I've been sort of using here for my knitting podcast, I guess is what you want to call them. I am going to take a little bit of inspiration from Candid Knits and kind of use their format, and really I think it's just more cohesive to start any new finished objects. Kind of, not really. I am working on a bandana design that will be like, it'll have sizings for pets as well, animals, dogs, cats. But basically I made a bandana for myself. And I'm also working on one and made one for Gibby's collar. I want to find a way to crochet a strip and add a like hook release clasp to it, because I think that would be more cohesive. But I really like this band. This is the Rosemary Cottage. I love this cotton, and boy, do I love this cotton. But if you'd like a tutorial on it still, let me know. That's really my only most recent new knit. I do have this pouch I made a while ago as well. This just has all of my primary desk supplies. It includes my two fancy hooks from Wickedly Handmade, which I will show you. It also includes a handful of the pens or markers that I keep at my desk for notating. These are my hooks here. I got these in the 2024, sorry, there's fuzz on this hook. The 2024 Halloween drop, I believe. There's yarn on this hook, it doesn't really matter. But I got a 6mm with the orange splash. And then I got a 5mm, and this is like a, it's like finger bones almost, but it has a little moon design on the bottom of it. And then everything else in here is just like stationary pens. I keep my scissors in here occasionally. I keep a pair of, or not a pair, I keep a tapestry needle in here. It's just kind of like my quick, if I need to grab something that's likely in here. Pouch. Originally it was used as my cash pouch for my markets, and that's kind of what I use it still for, but when it's not used for that, I use it for my desk stuff. Otherwise my pens and stuff would just be all about my desk, and I hate that. Next is any acquisitions. I can't say that word very well, but I love that word. It's a fun word. Once again, I don't really have any new acquisitions very much, just because one, my yarn buy ban starts soon, and two, I have a lot of the stationary type of stuff that I need or like to use. I guess my newest one actually is not really knitting related, but it's my 2026 planner. I've been needing to get this for a couple weeks now, but I'm so glad I did it. I also have, hold on. I also have my little notebook. I got this, I think, from Barnes & Noble. And essentially, it's just my little notes book, knitting notes notebook. There we go. And it includes a bunch of stuff in it, like my cheat sheets for certain patterns, or the first few steps of a pattern I might be writing, any modifications I make to a pattern. I have my original notes for the green and brown cardigan in here, which I just want to rip these pages out because they're terrible. I have the base notes for my Daft Days cardigan. And I also have my base notes for the current version of the brown and green cardigan. So I try to keep this on me whenever I have knitting on me, so I can make any notes I might need to notate. Or if I'm going to knit night or something and I'm working on my stuff, I can make a note to myself if there's any modifications or anything I do differently on one side. Only other newest acquisitions are some things I actually got from my job. They did their holiday thing. I don't know what you want to call it. But I got some sticky notes, which I already have some, but I like having these lined ones for kind of task building. And then we also got these cute little notebooks that come with a pen, some sticky note stuff, and then of course some pages. I don't know if I'll use this for knitting or if I will use it solely for work. I don't really know. I might steal the sticky notes from it for reading, but I don't really know. I think it's cute though. Current whips. So we have quite a few. These are all knitting whips as well, which is kind of hilarious to me. Firstly, we have my Daft Days cardigan. I completed the first sleeve. I still have the entire second sleeve not started. I have the collar and the second half of the button band still to do as well. I just got kind of fed up on this project because we were doing the same thing too much. We were doing too much of like complicated feeling, if that makes sense. So we're doing every 4th row color switch, and we're doing textured like pattern. So it's on days where I just want to vibe, it's a lot on my brain to remember to do the switches constantly and correctly. So I haven't really been working on it, especially since I was sick for 2 weeks. Like I really was not working on anything. But I have that. During that 2-week period, however, I did get started on the green and brown cardigan. I frogged the stripe one I had originally, and during my sick phase of existing, I basically plowed through this motherfucker, and I have about 80% of a cardigan done. All that is left is to finish up the bottom row here, or the bottom of the body, which I think is only like 2 or 3 more inches of the brown, and then the rest will be done in the green rib like the cuffs have been done in. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to redo the sleeves. I don't really want to, but I think I'm gonna have to, just because. Or because I didn't make the sleeves long enough. This is superwash wool, which I'm hoping. My thought is it's because it's superwash, it's gonna grow a bunch. I don't need to make it super long. I prefer it long anyway, so if I make it too long, I think that's fine. And then I have the button band left after that, which shouldn't take me very long at all because it's a V-neck cardigan, so it's all one giant band. This is sort of loosely based off of nothing. But if I were to say it's based off of something, I guess it's the stitch count is loosely based off of the flax cardigan, or the flax sweater by Tin Can Knits, the not the worsted version, sock I think is what it's called, the sock yarn one, the one for the thin yarns. I don't know what it's called. I'll put it up here if I can remember. But I only have probably a week's worth of progress left on that, honestly. If I just lock in and get it done over the course of about a week and a half, I've made this much progress. I had to frog it initially because I cast on too many stitches, but I think I figured it out now. The collar still might be a little bit wide, so I think what I might do is when I'm casting on for the button band, I might skip a couple extra stitches right in the collar section to bring it in a little bit more. I don't know though. I'll think about it. Let me know what you think. Next project is just one I'm working on I was working on it for funsies, but I can't really continue working on it until I finish the second sleeve of the Daft Days cardigan, because I need all my stitch markers. This is not the Sophie scarf. This is a kind of like inspired by the Sophie scarf a little bit. I figured out how to basically add stitches to an I-cord, and that's what I've been cruising on since. This is using, I should have mentioned that, the Daft Days cardigan uses the Wonderland yarn and the Sea Octopus yarn. I'll insert their labels here. The brown and green cardigan uses Drops Baby Merino, extra fine, and then this uses Malabrigo Rio. This is in the color Glitter. The brown and green cardigan is an olive mix and chocolate. And then, I don't remember what the Daft Days cardigan is in. I'll pin the video series that I've been doing on the Daft Days cardigan. In the first video I talk about that yarn. But this is in the Malabrigo Rio in the color 48 or Glitter. It's very much like an orangey toned yarn, like orangey brown kind of tone. This is a partial skein, so I'm cruising on this, but I do have one full skein as well, and I believe one skein is like 200-ish yards. I'm also estimating by the time I finish the Daft Days cardigan, I should have about one skein minimum-ish left of the darker brown yarn, and so I'm thinking I might just make this for a while, and then once it's about the width I like, then I will start decreasing, and if I run out of the Malabrigo at that point, I will cast on, or I will start using the brown. I know it's going to be kind of a harsh switch, but I don't really mind that because I think these colors actually go well together. Like they contrast each other nicely. Really brings out the orange, I feel like, with the brown next to it. But anyway, it all just depends on how much of this brown I have left as well, and how much of Malabrigo gets me, or how far it gets me. Because the Malabrigo might get me all the way, and then I don't even have to think about this anymore. But yeah, I cast this on kind of as a rando project, I think. Mostly I was just testing the I-cord thing, and then I just kept going. So I couldn't really stop. I get it though, I get the appeal. Next item is a new cast on. Technically it's a whip, but I'm counting it as a new cast on because I literally cast it on today. I have started a pair of socks. I'm knitting them 2 at a time. I am still on the toe. I casted them on during my lunch break today, so that's fun. I literally have like none of it done. Oh my gosh. Like literally it's only like 5-10 rows. Not even 10 rows. It's like 6 rows. And that's about it. But I'm doing them toe up 2 at a time. My personal big problem with socks is if I don't do them 2 at a time, I will never finish both of them. So 2 at a time, toe up. I want to try a short row heel. I started doing it on another pair of socks, and then I stopped halfway through and messed up the turns on at one point, so I had to restart them, and then I never restarted them. I just frogged them. But we have this, and this is using the Kalza Socks yarn by Adriafil? Adriafil, I don't know. The color is Bane. Or at least that's what it says here on my guide, or it's the color 0168. And it is a 75% superwash and 25% polyamide or nylon. I like the colorway. Here you go, you better look at it. This is one of the yarns my husband bought me for my birthday this year. And it's really just a good, like, honestly, a test yarn for making socks, like to really help me understand, like, 1, color pooling, and 2, just like working with sock yarn in general. As you know, or some of you know, at Lambtown this year, I also bought sock yarn for both my husband and I, and so I'm using this as a first test before I go dipping into the really nice expensive yarn. This skein was $20, but it's also 459 yards in 100 grams. So like it's a decent amount of yarn for that price. But that is my only new cast on basically. I guess my only other cast on technically would be a skirt that I'm planning. I'm hoping to get started on it in the next week or so. But essentially I have one skirt already that's sort of adjustable by having 2 rows of buttons. And I'm thinking of making a secondary skirt, just a shorter version that's similar to that, that also has like a couple rows of buttons in the waistband. That way as I continue to lose weight, I can still fit that skirt. Last and finally, as our little life updates, we did not own a Christmas tree apparently. I guess last year we got rid of ours, and I do not remember this conversation at all, but it very likely happened and I just don't remember. But we got rid of our Christmas tree apparently. So this year my husband and I were getting ready to do Christmas, and then we couldn't find our tree anywhere. We checked like literally every single room in our house. It was kind of crazy. And then we ran. Okay. So tell me why we go to Michael's, right? Because I'm like, they have some trees. Tell me fucking why I go in there. There's 6 Christmas trees available, by the way. Fair, you know what? Valid. I'll give him that. It's 10 days till Christmas. I'll give him that, all right? But tell me why I go and look at the trees they have available at already 60% off. They range from $300 to $600 after the discount. Also, maybe this is just me, but they only had 7.5 foot and 9 foot trees available still. I think 6 foot is too much. I like a little 4 foot tree. I think that's plenty personally, which is crazy. So I didn't buy any tree. Instead, I don't usually do this, but I went on Amazon and I bought a tree there instead. We don't have our tree set up yet. It's in its box still, but I got us a black Christmas tree. It's 6 feet tall. It's gonna be so cute. You should check out my video where I talk about all the Christmas items I've made over the years, because I also show you us putting up our tree. But yeah, so that is gonna conclude this video. I really hope you guys like the new format. Let me know what you think about it. If you have any questions about the projects that I kind of loosely talked about, let me know. And if you think I'm crazy for having 4 whips at the moment, don't tell me. If you want to see more from me, subscribe, and if you have any comments, feelings, opinions, thoughts, whatever, leave it below. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.